Hi, my name is Kristen Saunders-Denton. This is for my public speaking course, Week 6, my informative speech. My informative speech is going to be about CPR, how we all need to know how to administer CPR in an emergency situation. I did some research and I found CPR in 3 simple steps. And I'm going to go over these steps with you so that we all will be clear on how we can act firsthand in an emergency. Step 1, call. Check the victim for unresponsiveness. If the person is not responsive and not breathing normally, call 911. Return to the victim. In most locations, the emergency dispatcher can assist you with CPR. After you get the emergency dispatcher on the line, you simply let her know that the patient is unresponsive, not breathing, whether they have or doesn't have a pulse, and she will instruct you from there on how to begin. Step 2 of my 3 simple steps to CPR would be to pump. If the victim is still not breathing normally, not coughing or moving, you should begin chest compressions. Push down in the center of the chest 2 inches 30 times. Pump hard and fast at the rate of at least 100 per minute, faster than once per second. Where you're going to push would be like at the apex. You'll start at the side of the ribs and stop right where you feel the indentation here. You'll place a palm handed down, interlace those fingers, and that's how you pump 30 times fast. Over the victim, you'll stand directly over the victim, arms locked with those fingers interlaced like I showed you, and you'll pump those 30 times, 2 inches, at least the rate of 100 per minute. Step 3 would be to blow. You'll tilt the head back and lift the chin. Pinch the nose and cover the mouth with your mouth and blow until you see the chest rise. Give 2 breaths. Each breath should take 1 second. So after you give those 30 chest compressions, you found your space by coming up the rib, interlaced your fingers, you're directly over that body. After you give those 30 chest compressions, then you'll give 2 breaths. You'll pinch the nose, hold the head back, cover their mouth completely, and giving 2 breaths, with each breath taking 1 second. Continue with the 30 pumps and 2 breaths until help arrives. This ratio is the same for 1 person and 2 person CPR. What they mean by that is if there's 1 person, you'll still give 30 pumps to 2 breaths. If there's 2 people, one's going to do the compressions and one's going to do the breaths, then you'll still do it the same. One will do the 30 compressions, one will do the 2 breaths. In a 2-person CPR, the person pumping the chest stops while the other gives mouth-to-mouth breathing. That's very important. You don't want to both be doing compressions and breaths at the same time. So you'll give the compressions, then the person will give the 2 breaths. If it's just you, you'll turn your head to the side, give those 2 breaths, and watch that chest rise and fall to ensure that the breaths are going in. Again, these are my simple 3-step CPR. 1, call. 2, pump. And 3, blow. And again, the ratio is 30 pumps to 2 breaths. And you continue this cycle until help arrives. If you can't remember these steps, call, pump, and blow. After you call 911 and you inform the emergency 911 operator as to the victim's current status, whether they're breathing, not breathing, has a pulse, or doesn't have a pulse, she can instruct you further what to do. Again, when you find the victim unresponsive and they're not breathing normally, you will give 1, call. Go ahead and call 911. 2, you can go ahead and start to pump those chest compressions. And 3, blow. Again, the ratio would be 30 pumps to 2 breaths, making sure you only go in 2 inches into the chest, no further. And when you're giving your breath, each breath should take at least 1 second, and the chest should rise and fall again after you've given that breath. Thank you, and this concludes my 3 simple steps to CPR. Call, pump, and blow.